Hi Pisces, how you doing? Welcome to your December 2018 Tarot and Astrology forecast. So Pisces, a lot of this month is going to put you into a golden glow for those around you. So much going on in your 10th house of reputation. What path you're following in life. What you're responsible for. How people view you. How your community views you. It's a lot to do with where you are in society and your public ranking. Now, to a lot of Pisces that live bohemian lives, this may sound of complete disinterest to you, I suppose, but at the same time, you know, you can thrive through other people's connections at any stage in your life. It can open up opportunities for you, for others, and you're gonna be, as I say, in a golden glow. You're going to be a big fish in a little pond no matter where in the world you are. No matter how cosmopolitan your city is, Pisces, you're going to be a big fish, especially in your occupation. You know, what it is that you really want to do with your life. This isn't the short time jobs, not short-term jobs. This is the time to think about what gifts you have in this world that you want to utilize, what ideas you want to use. And the thing is, Pisces, I've never known a Pisces that's born with just one talent. It's the sign most commonly associated with multiple talents. You think of Rihanna. You think about how she is a singer, dancer, actress. She has a makeup line. I think she has an underwear line too. She's multi-talented and she just goes with the flow. With Mars in your sign, you're being driven. You've got this determination behind you, this passion, this energy that you can make happen. The flip side of this, though, is sometimes that Mars in your sign can make you feel a little bit tired. It can make you feel a little bit run down. You're either extremely energetic and then sometimes you overdo it and you need to rest. But this is the month to show up. This is the month to make the most of that 10th house glow. It's a career peak and it's going to be with you until the 21st. Actually, Pisces, it's going to be with you for the year. But this is the last time it'll be a conjunction between the Sun and Jupiter in that aspect. So I want you to really consider the opportunities that you get this month, the connections that you make, because you're going to be, as I say, a big fish in a little pond. You don't even have to do anything. People are just going to respond to you differently. Bear in mind, though, that the 10th house is Saturn. It is karma. So how we treat those who are ranked below us, I suppose, by some sort of societal definition. You know, your karma is at play here. So be careful about how you treat others. But it is the season to show up. Queen of Swords, you could be dealing with an air sign, or you could be internalizing things in your head. We just had a full moon in Gemini going into December, which was quite anxious for a lot of people. It was quite telling. It was quite revealing. You could be dealing with an air sign, an Aquarius, Libra, or a Gemini, and it could be romantic. Or it could be a very strong friendship connection. Very strong connection at play here between you and another person in a one-on-one sense. What is helping you is the Four of Pentacles. What is hindering you is the Tower. And the outcome is the Nine of Wands. Yeah, that push and pull between the extreme energies, Mars, could feel a bit tricky this month, particularly because it is in your sign and that is squaring off a lot of the Sagittarian energy. And then we have the Seven of Swords underneath. So Pisces, I get the impression that a lot of you are kind of going into December having been lied to or having had the truth exposed. I feel like the truth came out already though, so don't be anxious about that. I actually feel like a lot of you could be anxious about something in particular. And that often happens whenever we have the Seven of Swords and the Tower. It is somebody who threw you for a loop. Somebody who made you incredibly shocked at their behavior or disappointed in their behavior. That can happen around the Gemini full moon. It was poorly aspected in many senses. There was a lot of tense energy. There's tense energy with Mars being in Pisces, of course, your sign, and all the other things. It is making you feel a little bit in your own head. Like you want to exist in your own head. You're trying to rationalize things, and that's not really your way, Pisces. That's not really who you are. So you're kind of trying to do things in a different way, and you're almost a little bit emotionally detached from things because you felt this shock. So you're swinging from anxiety to shock to apathy because you're trying to hold it all in. You're trying to hold it together. I do feel like somebody really disappointed you. Quite simply put, it could have been in romance or it could have been in career, obviously. The Tower can sometimes happen whenever we lose an opportunity in business, whenever we get personally criticized, personally attacked. I do think there seems to be something that you want to protect yourself from, Pisces. And protecting yourself is not a bad thing, but that doesn't mean that your glowing moment should have to be sacrificed in order to protect yourself. You're entitled to this. You really, really, really are. If you want to have a glowing career, if you want to have creative opportunities, this is your month. You can't let this person steal from you, okay? Also, we have Venus in Scorpio from the 3rd of December for the rest of the month. And for you, this means love with intellectuals is enhanced. Love with people from foreign cultures, people that have been well-traveled, people that have been expansive in this lifetime. They take opportunities. They're happily in the glow. So you could learn from someone like that if they come into your life. It may be that you're actually attracting some really high flyers when you have Venus in this sector. Okay, it's going to be a very, very interesting energy for you, Pisces, in terms of meeting people. But you have to be in the game to do that. You can't be shut off emotionally if you want connection. If you want a 2 of Cups, you can't really be a 4 of Pentacles because you don't have a hand to offer that person. That's you holding everything to yourself and you can't offer them anything. So they're not going to put their guard down and offer you anything. You know what I mean? The 2 of Cups always goes both ways. It's 2 people that are ready to receive love. 2. You know, it's not one-sided. The 3 of Cups. You need to make a social connection. This is the Queen of Swords. This could be, as I say, an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Could be a friend. Could be a networking event. Okay, it could be a reunion with an air sign, actually. You've got romance in the brain deep down, Pisces, even if you're holding it from yourself. 10 of Cups in the helpful position. That's gorgeous. Challenge is the King of Swords. Okay. Somebody who is emotionally cold or shut off. And the 8 of Wands, we have movement. Ace of Pentacles. I'm so drawn to the gold in this reading. As I say, this golden glow that's associated with Pisces at the moment, with that 10th house midheaven energy. The thing is, Pisces, as I said, you're multi-talented. There's this gift, though, that you have that I think has not been explored properly. So it's like you have... A lot of you have a gift in connecting with people on a social level. It's almost as if some of you are working in, now this could be wanting to build a business in restaurants or bars. I'm sort of thinking with the 3 of Cups, some of you could be wanting to do events organizing, catering, and wedding planning. Some of you really want to be, this is probably like one person, but a wedding planner for some of you. It's as if there's this one in particular, because I'm sort of seeing proposals here as well. I feel like a lot of you could be either attending a wedding or maybe that's where your passions lie. But Pisces, if you follow your passion, there's a 10 of Cups energy and things will actually start to get off the ground. Now, Mercury is only in retrograde until the 7th of December, and after that, it's all systems go. The only thing we'll have is Uranus, okay? Being unpredictable and retrograde in Aries, which is, of course, your financial sector. But that's, that's not really where we're going with this. What it actually is that you seem to have a great plan here that comes to you in December. Possibly through an air sign connection, I just want to say. I also feel like sometimes there is with this King of Swords, now you could have been very badly hurt by an air sign, or there could have been a crumbling of an air sign's relationship. But this could just simply represent someone who was quite cold, who was quite aloof. King of Swords personalities can sometimes be in the challenge position, very condescending, patronizing. It could be this energy coming from somebody. I feel like it's somebody who possibly kept the truth that maybe came out in the Gemini full moon, but with the Ten of Cups, you're being promised something a lot more spectacular, okay? So I don't feel like this is a negative energy. I just feel like you have a lot of golden opportunities, but a lot of it depends on one particular invitation with the Three of Cups, okay? The Ten of Cups, as I say, your career, your golden glow, wish fulfillment. You have the ability this month to make a wish happen, and I'm just really hoping you're going to take it. It's actually kind of similar to Aquarius's energy. So if you're dealing with an Aquarius, especially in business, you guys are going to be a formidable pairing, right? So the energies of the skies are certainly favoring you, Pisces. Venus and Mars, Venus and Scorpio and Mars and Pisces is going to be very, very, very hot and heavy in a good way for you, romantically speaking. The skies are favoring you to find an everlasting love. Ten of Cups. But I think a lot of it is dependent on whether or not you're okay at reaching out to this person, whether or not there's a bit of back and forth with this energy. It might actually be, this could be for, again, one or two of you, that you get introduced to somebody by a friend. It's almost as if a friend maybe says, do you know, I really wish you would go out with my friend so-and-so. And you're like, no, I don't want to. Blind dates are creepy. Blind dates are weird. I'm not desperate. But it's actually because in some cases your friends might know best, Pisces, on who it is that you could go for, because you've been going out with, well, this is just for some of you again, some of you have been dating pretty sneaky people. I'm getting something about a party, actually. I mean, the Three of Cups can be reunions, so maybe you recently reunited with an air sign. Or someone who left you out in the cold. But there was some sort of, there could be this could have been a third party thing just because the Three of Cups is beside the Seven of Swords. Oh, some of you might be interested in an earth sign now. He's looking kind of glorious. Ooh, Three of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, and the moon. Wow. And the stars underneath, gorgeous. This is leading me up to something, actually, Pisces. I was going to mention it more in the mid-monthly December, but there is going to be a full moon in Cancer, which is, of course, your 5th house of love and romance and excitement and fun. To be honest, whenever the sun moves into Capricorn, which is your 11th house of friendships, I actually do think under that full moon you might meet someone through a friend, or you may fall in love with a friend. Someone who's been a friend for a long time, actually, because it could be that sort of energy going on here where sort of friends becomes more. The full moon is bringing you some sort of message. And most importantly, it's bringing you hope, because the Nine of Wands is you sort of feeling run down and pushing to get something done, pushing to meet a deadline, pushing yourself to get out of bed in the morning, really feeling a little bit of a struggle. It could be the nights are colder, the nights are longer, and you're just feeling a little bit, sad at the overall energy. And then we have this amazing Eight of Wands moment where everything just sort of speeds up. And I think it's mostly to do with Mercury going direct, Pisces. But yeah, I do feel that there's an underlying factor that's making you anxious, though. I'm just going to go back and readdress this, and I think it's a lot to do with the King of Swords and the Tower. So let's talk about this, because I think you need to sort it with the Ace of Wands. So Pisces, one of the problems that I'm sort of seeing from these cards, and even to do a lot with the astrology of the month, is that as a Pisces, a lot of the time you can end up with people that you need to save, or people that are emotionally turbulent because they seem exciting. Pisces often go for live wires. They often go for people who live day to day. They're very exciting. But sometimes you can get involved with somebody who's just in it for the chemistry. I think with the Tower and the Ace of Wands, I'm getting sort of a strong spark, but a lack of foundation, as if somebody who was really exciting and really attractive, but you think about them and you sort of question, did we really have a bond? Did we really click? The moon could reveal that maybe this person was just living out a repressed memory for you. They were just a vision of something that you had yet to address, and maybe that was the key. Maybe the person reminded you of a traumatic event from your past, or a traumatic person that caused you pain, and it felt familiar, and there was safety in going for someone where you knew it couldn't work. A lot of people do it and they don't realize it, and it can be life-changing when you do. Sometimes, Pisces, it is safer to go for someone that you know will not work out in the long run because it's not as risky. It's not as shocking. And people think that they don't do that, but I've seen it happen. I have a rising in Pisces, and I used to do that all the time before I could sort of twig on that I was the one that was being more non-committal. You can go for people that you think are safer in the short term because they can't hurt you in the long run. Interestingly, Pisces, there's actually more chance of you meeting a King of Pentacles personality who wants to do the long run, because the Three of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles together with the Ten of Cups represents a satisfactory, long-term, stable lover instead of somebody who's a little bit more shaky. You know, somebody who you know has feelings for somebody else, someone who you feel is out dating lots of people, someone who doesn't write back to you and then posts a billion pictures from a night out. That is oftentimes somebody that Pisces can end up with when they're not truly connected with themselves. And the moon is saying that some sort of subconscious fear needs to come to light for you to address it head on and then let it go. And the full moon in Cancer, because it's in your romantic sector, is going to illuminate past behaviors in your romantic sector and even your fun life, because the Three of Cups is fun. But fun at the expense of your sanity, at the expense of your heart, peace of mind. That's not fun. So Mr. Right Now, rather than Mr. Right, is actually damaging you in some way, Pisces. So maybe go for a slow burner. There's more chance of meeting somebody, and for a lot of you, I'm seeing, honestly, it's a friend that maybe you didn't look in a certain way. That was what, honestly, Capricorn season can do for Pisces people, especially when the full moon shows up, illuminating that that beautiful 5th house energy. I mean, the moon's here and the stars here. So you have the whole night sky behind you, Pisces. Whenever you're feeling anxious and lonely, just look at the night sky and you'll remember what I told you, that the night sky is here for you. It's behind you. Okay, so don't feel lonely. You have the star and the moon on your side. The star is all about hope and faith. A lot of it's to do with renewal as well. Renewing yourself, being blessed. Magic. Emotions are coming to light, but that's not a bad thing. A lot of you are getting messages through your dreams. You're having nightmares or anxious dreams and they're making you feel uneasy, and that's because you're not addressing something that's going on in your subconscious. Just say it out loud. Just say what it is that you're scared of. Admit to yourself what you're scared of, and it loses its power immediately. It loses its power when it comes out of your head. That's what the full moon always makes me think of. Once you've admitted it, it's lost its power. People think it actually doesn't. But if you keep holding your emotions in, you're disconnecting from things, Pisces. You're becoming aloof and you're becoming apathetic to the world around you, and you just want to hide away, and that's not who Pisces is supposed to be this month. You're supposed to be the belle of the ball. You're supposed to be recruited for work. You're supposed to be given promotions. You're supposed to learn your talents. You're supposed to be the Queen of Cups that you are, but you're emotionally retracting from what it is that you've always wanted most. And if you have to, you can have a phoenix moment. You can transform. Your anxiety is playing out in very many ways, Pisces. Let's look at this. The Death card and the Three of Swords. And the Queen of Cups. You're facing your fears. And you're facing your heartbreak. The Three of Swords for me is this saga of being heartbroken by people, or being rejected by opportunities, being rejected by others. Some of you could have been very, very badly hurt by a Scorpio, or some of you could have rejected a Scorpio. Yeah, or the Scorpio rejected you. Could have been another water sign, actually. Could have been Cancer or Pisces. A lot of you are having a an emotional catharsis. I sort of feel, because the Death card and the Three of Swords can be very anxious. People take it to be as like a predictive loss. A loss of something. But when I look at this, I sort of see it's like you could be heading towards a loss of self if you don't meet yourself. If you don't accept the offers, you're denying yourself of something. And I don't think you should. Again, there's an interesting theme here with Aquarius's energy. And it's all about, you have this real fear of something, and it's coming out in your cards. There's really beautiful things here. I mean, there's the Ten of Cups, for goodness sake. It's huge. It's gorgeous. Two of Cups, King of Pentacles. But the moon means you're afraid of something in particular. And the Four of Cups means you're rejecting this information. Just take the information. Figure out what it is that's making you feel so afraid, Pisces, and speak on it. Once you've spoken about it, it's out. Someone else can tell you if it's ridiculous. We can let things build up in our heads. We can give ourselves a self-limiting belief, and it can build up in our heads until it's too much for us to bear and we're an anxious wreck, and then we speak on it and someone says, what? What are you worried about that for? And you think, whoops. Medicine woman, you're a channel for divine healing power. Which means you need to look after yourself, Pisces. You need to be feeling spiritual aligned. You need to meditate. You need to feel connected. You need to feel protected. Cycles and rhythms. Honor the cycles of your body, energy levels, and emotions. As I said, Mars, you could be quite up and down a bit with the energy surrounding you. Leap of faith. Take a risk and put your heart's true desire into action. Yep. Taking risks all over. Maeve and Anya are very Irish names, so I think some of you could be dealing with energies over here. So I'm going to do one more card, Pisces, and then sort of address start delegating. Ask others, including Green Tara, to help instead of trying to do everything by yourself. Good advice. Again, career is in the spotlight, so maybe it is that you're trying to do everything by yourself, but you're sacrificing your mental and emotional health instead. It's an interesting hand, Pisces. I feel like something's getting to you, and I feel like it's possibly a past disappointment, or it's a fear of the real thing showing up. Just an FYI. The real deal will always be a lot scarier than something that's fleeting. So if you want a new relationship to work, particularly if it is with an earth sign, if you want a new relationship to work, Pisces, or you want this new crush to show potential, you need to find out what's sort of lingering in your subconscious. What's the main fear here? Because the moon wants you to illuminate something, and with death and the Three of Swords that came out, I think it's a death of that part of yourself that keeps accepting losers and keeps accepting being an option and keeps accepting sacrificing themselves for the sake of somebody else and keeps accepting back the person that hurts them over and over and over and over because they think this time it's going to be different. And maybe it is going to be different for some of you, but I'm just saying that it's so you shouldn't lose yourself in trying to find or keep somebody else. That's actually one thing that Pisces can so well do, is sort of lose themselves, submerge themselves in somebody else's muddy waters. Before they know it, they can't see. And if you do that continuously, you're not going to know what it's like to swim in clear water. It seems that Pisces, you can, because I do feel like there's somebody here who's disappointed you massively. I just see that with Mars energy in the Tower here and the Ace of Wands. Maybe it's also an idea that didn't get off the ground. Maybe it's somebody who has been difficult. But there's things, that you're tapping into subconsciously, but you don't quite know. And I sense that maybe you have to figure out, because, the Three of Cups as well can be a reunion. If it is a reunion of a Seven of Swords personality, I don't know if you can trust that person. Cards aren't really there to decipher individuals. In that case, it could be that there has been a mistrustful event happened or someone has returned who's mistrustful. But it may also be choosing between more than one person. I sense, Pisces, that you have to go with your intuition, and you have to, with the Eight of Wands, really put into focus what fears need to bubble up from the surface, what fears are weighing you down. And maybe you don't actually know what it is. Like, maybe you don't really know. But it's in your subconscious. So, when I think of the Eight of Wands and the Moon, it could be someone who makes you feel like you're going mad. It could also be changing up your talents. As I say, you've more than one. But I think it's a lot to do with the full moon. I think it's a lot to do with the full moon illuminating these fears. I think a lot of it is to do with feeling shaky, feeling unprotected, feeling scared. Maybe some news from somebody else illuminated a fear that you didn't realize you had. Maybe the truth came true. Maybe the fear came true with this person. But whatever it is, Pisces, you're the big fish in a little pond. Maybe your sights were set too low, Maybe your sights have been set too low continuously, and this Eight of Wands is illuminating the fact that you need to start aiming higher. These Eight Wands, they're aiming for the sky. They're not aiming for the ground. They're pointed up. They're moving up. The moon is in the sky. Reach for the stars. Reach for the moon. Your moon. Moon is Pisces energy, Pisces. Reach for the moon. Do not fear. Whatever it is that comes to light, you'll handle it. You'll accept it, and it'll be transformational. Death card is always about transformation. It's all about letting something die, and the Three of Swords is an energy you don't want to carry with you anyway. Let it die off. You don't have to be in a Three of Swords cycle for the rest of your life. You don't have to be that person who's unlucky in love. You don't have to be that person who has all these talents that goes to waste. You can direct that energy. You've got Mars. You can direct that energy. You've got the Sun and Jupiter in Sagittarius. You have all the tools in your arsenal to get going, to make things move, to make things change. You have the Ten of Cups in your positive position, promising you some sort of wish fulfillment, promising you a warm and cozy period. The Ten of Cups doesn't welcome in the Seven of Swords. He wishes he could be in the Ten of Cups because there's a lot of good stuff going on there, but he was too busy sneaking in and out of other people's houses. He doesn't know any of a good thing. Be mindful of that. I hope you enjoyed that, Pisces. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.